liftoff.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Sunday and the Stone Seekers Show.
Hello.
Oh, so how are we all? Everyone happy? Yes, good.
Yeah.
Right, let's see who's in the chat then. Right, let's have a quick look.
Hang on, I'm crunching my sweet. Hello.
as
Harry's eating
usual.
sweets again. Do you know, when I was
Cock
at school,
candy.
they used to say, if you have sweets, you have to share them round. But unfortunately, Harry's too far away. There's only one.
Ladies.
Sweets
Cock candy. What have you got?
Cock candy.
Oh no, Marcus.
You've got a bloody picnic here. What's this bloody teddy bear's picnic or something? Right, okay. So
There's Mary. Steve.
So there's Chuck. One Vision. That's Robbie, is it? Robbie? I don't know.
One Vision.
Jerry. Brian.
Well, we've got
Stephen.
Steve Knowles. It says evening, all new to
Hello, Steve and Mary.
Steve,
Mary
welcome.
Turnbull.
Hello, John. Let's throw it down here. Oh, Mary. Hi, Mary. How are you? Steve Knowles. Yeah, Steve Knowles. You're not new to this. Welcome aboard.
Cool.
Welcome.
You'll be hooked after today. You'll be booked back every week for sure.
Well, you might, Steve. You never know.
You never know.
Might run away.
Because us Steves have to stick together. All right.
Oh yeah,
Never mind.
there's like a 50% Steve rate, isn't there?
Yeah.
Steve Ray. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Patrick is in Germany now.
Just in time on my phone from Germany. What are you doing in Germany? You don't know anything about it, is he? There's May. Hi, May. Oh, and Kim. Hi, Kim. And Lauren. And Sally. Hi, Sally.
And Lauren.
Hello, everyone.
And
I was in
Patrick.
quarantine in Taiwan.
Say again?
What's his name? He's in quarantine.
He's in quarantine in Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Yeah.
You have to go to Taiwan. You should go to Taiwan. It's 14 days. Wow.
Steven
Wow.
spends more time in quarantine than anybody.
He has, honestly. In 2000, he would have, you think about it, after that 14 days, he would have spent longer in quarantine in 2022 than not, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you, I'll bet Steven has become an expert at room service.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi,
Shelby.
Shelby.
Shelby, watch your live stream flying for them barns again. Top notch.
Brilliant.
Can't wait to see the actual
Oh,
videos from
that
the.
was brilliant. That was so good last week.
It was.
Really
Tanya.
was.
Hi, Tanya. Right, I think we've got everyone now before.
No, it's the lovely Tanya.
Right,
All
lovely
right,
Tanya.
Tanya.
Right,
Tanya posted a nice video yesterday.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to check that out.
I couldn't see that then. Right, should we bring our special guest out? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's welcome this week's Drone Seekers live show special guest.
And it's Windswept Robert. Do what all these Scotch people do. Drink Scotch.
We've got a newbie on tonight. Another new person, Caroline.
Oh, right, okay.
Hi, Caroline. Yeah,
First
Welcome,
time watching
Caroline.
the channel.
we're all coming in.
Oh, there we are. Caroline Tyler.
I mean, I love it. I'm a Scotsman
Caroline,
by heritage.
Welcome
So.
aboard.
Two more girls. Keep me
Right, so Robert joins us from the
Scotland.
yeah, I was going to be more specific. Is it near Ayr somewhere? Is it?
Yes, near Ayr.
Near Ayr. There we are.
A little village about a 5-minute drive from the west coast, Ayr, which sits on the west coast.
Is that anywhere near Mary and Brian?
Now, we had this conversation earlier. You're quite away, aren't you, I think, Robert?
Is it anywhere near the Glenmoray distillery?
There at Kelso, that's quite a about a 2-hour drive from where they are.
Yeah, so it's quite, but yeah. Well, anyway, welcome, Robert. Welcome to 1 hour of absolute madness.
Well,
we just tell it how it is.
It's going to fit right in.
It's
Right,
right.
yeah.
Right. By the time we finish
Especially with each bonnet.
Hey, well, if he passes that whiskey round, he'll fit right in, okay?
Yeah, all I've got is this, look.
I'm afraid you'll just have to bring your own tonight.
No.
Oh, well, I've got a merriment in my mouth as well, but I won't show you that.
No,
Too good to hurry, man.
Was it Robert is a bonny lad.
Aye. Your dinner can have a big one of your bonny ears.
Brian says other side of the country. There we are.
Oh, okay.
Brian, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, where is Brian's in near Kelso, but I can't remember the actual name of the place it's called. Brian, where do you
Hume.
live? I forgot where you
Hume,
live.
isn't it?
Hume, that's it. That's what it was, Robert. Hume.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's on the borders.
quite a distance from the borders. It's right across the other.
But,
the
it's the borders over the other side of Scotland.
Aye.
Right.
That's on the east
So,
coast.
Which,
I'm in the
which
west.
is
Yes,
the best?
that's it.
Which is the best bit of Scotland then? The east coast or the west
Well,
coast?
here's the thing. I've because I'm a musician, I have travelled all over Scotland, and I know all of the people. I would say that geographically, the west coast is the nicest if you want to fly a drone because you've got some really rugged hills. But the people in the east are really nice. I like the people over there. They're a bit more laid back and a bit nicer. And in the west, everybody skills at you and they all want to fight.
So there are, Brian. So if you drive that way, and Robert drives that way, and meet somewhere
In the middle.
In the middle.
Ah, well, yeah.
I've got a clue where that's going to be, but it's somewhere an hour from home. Brian says all of Scotland is great. I quite agree, Brian. I quite agree.
Yes.
I mean, Chuck, who's from not from where Chuck is from, but I mean, Chuck come over to Scotland. I think he was over there for about 2 weeks, I think.
Syracuse.
He made some
Syracuse,
really
that's right.
really good sort of vlogs on it.
Yeah.
He does, yes, it's worth checking them out.
Hi, Harvey.
Hi, Harvey, how are you?
Oh, Harvey.
In sunny Spain, no one in sunny Spain. Oh, coast to coast drones. Now let's start with tons of thumbs up.
All right.
Good idea. It's hitting thumbs up. Hitting thumbs up.
Come on, Marcus. Put your thumbs up.
You've got to pay attention in class. As Terry won't pass round the mints.
No,
Occurred to
I've
me-
got it stuck on my top plate.
Oh, Caroline says spent 5 years living near Edinburgh. Scotland just brilliant because doing someone putting more coals on the fire.
It's cold.
It's
My
not really-
granddaughter flew all the way to Scotland to get married.
Who did?
Who did?
Yeah. They flew to Scotland to get married. That way they didn't have a bunch of pesky relatives around. That makes sense.
Good idea.
Who was that?
Did they go to Gretna Green?
Say again?
Did they go to Gretna Green, do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, Gretna Green was a famous place. I mean, that's
Yeah.
They got married in a castle. I know that, and I'd have to go back and look it up.
Now, Gretna Green was a place that years ago people used to elope to from the UK and drive up to Gretna Green and just go and get married because you could get married there younger, couldn't you, Robert? So
16, you could get married at
Yeah,
16 in
16.
Scotland.
Yeah.
So people would cross over, and the first place that you could get married from England, from England to Scotland, was in the smithy. It was a blacksmith in Gretna Green. But did you know that in Scotland, and a lot of people maybe fly over to Scotland because you can get married anywhere on a loch side, on a hill, halfway up a mountain. You don't have to be in like a registered office or in a church or a chapel. You can get married anywhere at all in Scotland. That's the law.
Because it used to be, I don't know where it is now, but it used to be standing underneath an arch or something.
That's right. My daughter got married there, and there's a piper, and Michael, her husband, and Susan stood underneath that arch after a blessing over the anvil in the smithy.
Okay. There you go. So,
Right.
Cool.
Patrick just said, did they get married in Gretna Green? Which,
Yes.
Scotland beautiful, brutal at the same time. Like I said, today's vlog is rolled out. So yeah, do you want to check out
What you need is Scotland with Spanish weather, I reckon.
Yeah, that's probably. Mind you, I'm saying that I was very lucky because when we were up to Kev's, and I was walking around in t-shirt and shorts. Happy days.
The thing about Scotland is it's not predictable. You can look out your window and think, oh, it looks quite nice out there, and you can be driving 20 minutes and suddenly it's completely changed and the tail's coming down. You cannot predict it.
Ross is here. G'day, Ross.
Found out a few days ago, and because the snow had come down, and I went out. I thought I'm going to get some snowy footage. I did. The video is going to be up next weekend. Some beautiful snowy footage. And on the drive back home, the rain came down. By the time I got home, 20 minutes later, the snow was gone.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was lucky that I went out when I did.
Oh, Chuck's
Any drone news, anyone?
Any drone news?
I did see a really good report about some drones that had been adapted to wash and clean solar panels on the roof.
Yes, I saw that.
That was really, really good. Really clever.
There's some news on this guy.
Oh,
yeah.
What's the news?
Besides going down to Jackie, they've got a new version that has antenna that looks very similar. Gives it a little bit better control range with the controller. But the big deal is they added a feature called keyframes that you can pre-fly a flight and insert keyframes, and the drone you can tell it where to point and so forth, and then it will just do a perfect flight.
Nice. Oh, so
waypoint.
Similar to waypoints. Similar to waypoints, but you're not doing it on a map. You're actually you look at what the drone and you point it at what you want it to point at.
Oh, okay.
And then you can put as many keyframes as you want, and you can tell it how fast to do it and so forth. And then it will fly it perfectly. And the cool thing about the obstacle avoidance on this guy, it's not going to hit anything. So you can go under a tree and, through a building and anyway.
I tried to get my hands on a Skydio 2 about 6 months ago, and I couldn't get one. For some reason they wouldn't send it over. So disappointed because it's a fantastic for not for obstacle avoidance. It's great for that, but for actually tracking you. I don't think there's anything in the market that matches it.
No, it's a good drone for that. Definitely.
Waiting for it to come out in Europe still, aren't we?
Yeah.
I did see one for sale over in the UK, and the guy wanted to sell him out. He wanted about $2,000 for it. I thought, you're just being stupid, aren't you? Yeah.
$2,000, Steve?
Yeah, $2,000.
Sold.
Yeah, Marcus, if I sell that, Marcus, if you work out how much it's going to cost to send over to the UK, if I sell it for $2,000, we'll split the profit. How about that?
My Skydio too. You can't do that.
Robert. Yeah, well, there's a price on everything, Jackie. Sorry.
No, Marcus wouldn't do that to me. He's bringing it to Spain one day, aren't you?
España.
Yeah.
So Brian wants to say, how do you like the new DJI FPV, Robert?
Yeah, I'm actually loving it. I haven't flown it much. I've only had it out 5 times, and I'm still going between the normal mode and the sport mode. I haven't even attempted manual mode yet, but I love it. At first, it was because it's so much faster than the Mini 2. It was a bit, whoa, I don't know what I'm doing here. But now that I've flown it, even though I've only flown it 5 times, I'm now finding that when I take the Mini 2 out, I'm like, well, is this thing stuck in cine mode or something? It's so slow. So I'm really loving it. And the maneuverability of the drone as well, of the FPV drone, I'm really loving it. And I think the more that I fly it and the more I get used to it and the better I get, the more I'm going to enjoy it. So yeah, I really, really love it.
I think it's one of them drones. I mean, well, it certainly was with myself, and it sounds like the same with you, and I know it was with Brian. You fly it the first time, you think, that's it. This is my go-to drone. First drone out of the box, FPV.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I've actually now got some solar panels and charged up my drone batteries off the solar panel during the week. How long are you
taking, Terry?
I can't really say on that one, Steve, because they were semi-charged anyway.
Oh, okay.
They topped it up. It was about half an hour to top up 3 mini batteries.
Talking of DJI FPVs in boxes.
And no, it's out of the box.
Well, it's out of the box.
It's out of the box now.
Progress.
That's a start, isn't it?
That's got to be the slowest DJI FPV in the world, hasn't it? This one.
Has been. But I want to prove to you, Jackie, that I have taken it out of the box.
Has it got a battery on it yet, Marcus?
Yeah, I've got 3 batteries charged up. I just haven't flown it yet.
Oh God, how can you not have flown it yet?
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's freaking snow and rain,
Oh.
Jackie. Jeez. We're not
Just
in the
snow.
south of Spain.
Let the snow just go.
Yeah, well,
Just
listen,
use
if
the
you
snow
think
as
you
a
can't,
blanket.
if you
and
think
you
you can't
drop
fly in the
it.
snow, watch the video that I'm going to be bringing out next weekend, and you'll see a drone flying in the snow. There's no
There you
reason you
go.
can't get out in the snow.
If Robert can do it, you can do it.
I can do it anyway.
I agree.
I think part of the problem is, Robert, is the fact that it's not the drone and the snow. It's when you, the person in the snow standing there
Yeah, I do admit my hands, even though I had my gloves on, my hands were starting to get really cold. And after the third battery, and the batteries only last 10 minutes in the FPV, and after the third battery had died, I was quite thankful about that. I could get back into the car.
I think it's actually an article in the in one of the I'm not sure it's where it's the CAA thing, but there's actually an article in that. I think it is the CAA is a question about flying drones in the snow, you know, and what is the thing you should pay attention to. And the answer, and I got the answer wrong, sort of because of visual line of sight and whatever. And the answer actually was, so your hands warm enough to control the drone.
Yeah.
That was actually a question in the Luxembourg.
Same thing.
The Luxembourg.
The online training.
On the training we did.
Well, that is more or less. I mean, that was more or less sort of, well, to a degree, sort of parrot-fashion the CAA one. It's probably a little bit more complicated than the CAA one, but I've sat about 3 of the damn figures. I'm fed up with the dams. Anyway, I've got a couple of videos here, or show one at a time anyway, but we'll just have a look at this, and this is from Robert, so enjoy.
Hello there. This time of the year in Scotland is not the best time for flying a drone. So let me take you back to the summer in Loch Shiel, the location of the Highlander movie. There can be only one! Before we go on with the video, I'd like to mention my good friend Shannon Bowen, who performed all of the vocals on the songs that I produced and mixed together for this video. She's a very talented young lady and a very good friend of mine. She has appeared in one of my videos before as a mermaid, and she has her own YouTube channel and her own Facebook business. I'll leave links to both of those in the description, and I'll also leave links to the video that Shannon appeared in with her vocals before. So back to the video. At the north end of Loch Shiel stands a spectacular monument which was erected in tribute to the Jacobite clansmen who fought and died in the cause of Bonnie Prince Charlie. In 1815, 70 years after the Jacobite Rising, the monument was erected there with a lone kilted Highlander at the top as a poignant reminder of those who gave their lives for the Jacobite cause.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to sky. Billow and breeze, islands and seas, mountains of rain and sun. All that was good, all that was fair, all that was me is gone. Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to sky.
if you'd like to know more about the Jacobite Rising and the battles for Scottish independence, including the crushing defeat at Culloden, or any other Scottish history related matters, leave a comment below and I'll get to work on the video. Till then, give us a thumbs up, I'm out of here.
Absolutely brilliant.
We're wearing the same hat, look.
Robert, did you know that guy got killed?
Yeah, have you got your kilt on now?
Well, I'm not going to stand up and let you know, that's for sure.
The last time I did that, Robert, I had my pajamas on. So I stayed firmly stuck to my seat.
And we were very thankful for that.
I'm not getting up.
That was absolutely fabulous. Really, really good.
Yeah. I must admit, I mean, the vocals. I mean, so where was that recorded then, Robert? Did you record
that's my friend Shannon, just a young girl. She's actually an actress. She's been in a couple of the soap operas up here in Scotland. She has her own business, and she's come out with my band, and she's guest vocals a few times for me, and she just lives along the road. So I said to her that, before I made this video, when I was thinking about making it, I called her up and said, look, I'm going to make this video, and there's a couple of Scottish songs that do you fancy doing the vocals on. I'll produce all of the music. And she said, oh yeah, I'll do that. So she came over. I've got a little recording studio, put her in, recorded her, got the vocals down, and that stuck it on. And actually, here's a funny thing. After I posted it up, I got not a copyright strike, but I got a copyright claim on the video. Yeah.
You made it? Oh my God.
From Pixel Studios. Because the second song in that video is from the movie Brave. Don't know if you've seen it or not. It's one of the Disney. It's a Disney movie. Pixar. It's a Disney movie called Brave, and that song is from it. So even although I produced the music for it and Shannon did the vocals, they still had a copyright claim.
They recognised the tune then, basically.
Yeah, it's their tune. So I'm sharing the monetization with them, which is all right. They could have claimed the entire video, but they said, look, we'll share the monetization with you. It's not getting many views anyway, so there's not much to be shared.
I mean, the weird thing about Robert, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, Terry does a joke of the week on here, and he couldn't make it, so he actually made a video for us. And in the background, imagine the scene. Terry's telling a joke. In the background, there's a view of a fire, a log fire, and in the background, you could hear
Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé.
just about. And I'll tell you what, that got our whole show, the video of this show, has actually got banned worldwide.
They banned us.
Oh, wow.
So they basically said to us, well, what do you want to do? I said, remove the bloody video.
I know, that really upset me, that did. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's a real tricky one. I actually put together the video for next weekend. I put together, and I'm doing a giveaway because there was a company sent me a couple of they sent me one item, and I said, can you send me another one as well so that I can give it away on the channel to one of the viewers? And they did. They sent me another one. So what I did is when I made the video, I used a tiny little part of their web page on the video as a promotion.
Yeah.
They copyright claimed the entire video, and that was the second. So I thought, well, I'm taking it out. So I took out that little their own web page. I took it out, redid the video without that, which made it 15 seconds shorter. And now it's up. It's going to be up without a claim at all. So that's the video that's going to be up next weekend.
And what company was that, Robert?
I won't say. I'll wait until you see the video next week.
Sure.
I don't actually think it was there. I think it was an automatic thing that maybe happened. What I think has maybe happened is someone else made the video for them for their website, and because I used a little snippet of that, it was the original creator of the video and not the company themselves that put the claim on. But I just took that section out, and that it's going to be fine. But it's hard to find that line to walk. The tiniest little thing can get your video demonetized, and no one wants a copyright strike against them. Yeah.
Yeah, a claim is one thing. A strike is a whole nother kettle of fish. A strike is bad. Yeah. A claim, not so bad. I believe it or not, I got one the other day on a DJI Master Shot that I did with the Mavic 3. the music that DJI put in that master shot, I got a copyright claim on.
Yeah.
So I just pushed that button where it just deletes the sound out. Yeah.
Well, here's an interesting thing when you say that. When it told me there was a copyright claim, and it gives you options. What do you want to do? You can take the video down. Yeah. And one of the options was just let them delete that section. So I thought, I'll run a little test here. I'm always doing tests. But I'll run a little test here. So I hit the go ahead, proceed, take that little section out. And I at the same time, I re-edited the video. And I thought, I reprocessed it and I uploaded it to see what would be the quickest. And by 3 hours faster is re-editing the video and re-uploading it, which astounded me. I thought it would take 20 seconds for them to cut that section out. It doesn't. It's like, it takes
a long while,
5 or 6 hours for them to do it.
Yeah, but that's it. When I had sat that little snippet out of Terry's joke, he said, what do you want to do? I thought, well, I've got to just remove that part of it because obviously it's blocking the whole video. And as you rightly say, that took a long while. If I left it overnight, it was going off. I thought, I'll just get on with it. I wasn't happy. I probably use stronger words and get on with it as well. But if anyone's interested, I've actually put the link to the Robert's YouTube channel on there. If anyone wants to check it out, Windswept Robert.
No, I've already subscribed.
There's some great videos on there. So like and subscribe. You know, Robert's done some fantastic work, as you've seen a sample, and you will see another sample very shortly. But if you want to watch him in glorious, should I say, in high quality, obviously, because on the show we are limited to 720, so it's not the best of quality you'll probably see.
Yeah, go watch it on your big screen.
Watch it on the big screen, yeah. Well, I watch it on the 16-inch TV, but I enjoy that. So anyway, so what are we catching up with? I'm not sure if anyone can help here. Matty put a little thing on here somewhere. Where is he? He put here. What happened to the go-to channel when you click the 3 dots next to someone's name? I don't see it.
I just click on the name and it goes to the channel.
Yeah, that's been gone for a while. Yeah.
Okay. Right. I didn't know there was something.
Here's what I think in the grand Google scheme of things. I think what they were concerned with is people sub for sub things, and so you click on the name and anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wasn't really sure what he meant by that. So someone know that. I was telling little 3 little dots here.
What?
New comments. What? What Kim says,
I have 3 little dots on me.
I don't do monetized channel. They still show ads on my channel.
They show ads on everyone now.
They do, because someone made a comment the other day. Because I think it was Jackie. I was looking at one of your videos and an advert come on there. Someone said, how many subscribers? It's over 600. Why are adverts on there? I said, I don't know.
There's ads on all of them now, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, what I hope is, I sincerely hope that AdSense money that Google collects, I hope that they're sharing it with people like me and Windswept Robert.
Yeah. you never know. Yeah.
I hope that as well.
I mean, I just use what music I like, and if they turn and say, well, you can't monetize this channel, like, I'm bothered.
Yeah.
I mean, a strike is one thing. I mean, if we don't get strikes, so you do get, if you use copyright music. I mean, the Michael Bublé thing was well, hopefully like a one-off, because I've never known it to actually say your whole video is banned. I've never known that before. I thought, wow.
That was really, really clever, I thought.
Yeah.
That really made the joke of the week.
Yes.
It just goes to show you've got to watch the joke of the week live.
You have.
Well, I make it every time.
Well,
I'm going to pass the mantle on to you, Jackie.
Well, the strange thing about it is that the live show on Facebook. The live show on Facebook wasn't actually banned, was it? Because I mean, it was on there. It was just the YouTube version of it. But
yeah.
We shall see. Right. What's this?
Tanya says, you have shown yourself worthy.
So what Tanya says is she goes for quality, right? She's subscribed to my channel. Thank you, Tanya.
Yeah, it's only because you live near Marcus.
Craig
I've got a video that I haven't published yet of Tanya and I out flying our Mavic 3s.
Oh, brilliant!
No, that's what it is then. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tanya's got a Mavic 3.
Yeah.
She bought the Cinep package. She doesn't mess around, Terry.
No.
Uh-huh.
Goodness me.
What about you, Robert? Have you thought about? Did you look at the Mavic 3 at all, or?
I knew when it was coming out. I was watching Darren McHardy, who seemed to have a lot of advanced information about it. He's usually quite good at getting things right. And I thought about it for a while, and I thought, why would I want to spend all of that money when I've got my lovely little lassie here that does pretty much the same thing? You know, she can fly cinematic and catch some great footage, and I don't know what functions that I would use on the Mavic 3 that I don't know that go beyond and above what Lassie can do. So no, it was never really a consideration for me. The reason I got Laddie was, well, I was actually given Laddie. I didn't buy Laddie.
Laddie.
Yeah, Laddie. Somebody actually gifted Laddie to me and said, look, this is going to work really well with Lassie to get you some extra footage. And this is the one that I had been thinking about maybe at some point in the future getting, because this it supplements the footage from a cinematic drone. Yep. Whereas if you get an Air 2A, if you've got a Mini 2 and you get an Air 2S or a Mavic 3, what are you going to do? All it means is that you're not going to take this one out again, or if you do, I honestly don't.
You make a good point, Robert. But what I wish we lived closer. I wish I could bring my Mavic 3 over and let you fly it, and then you'd go, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah, do you know what my fear would be if I can't buy one unless when a lot of numbers come up. But if I did have a Mavic 3, my fear would be that would put Lassie in the retirement home, and I couldn't do that to her. I just couldn't do that to her.
Here's why it wouldn't. Because you would keep Lassie for when you just need a very small portable product that you can put in your pocket and go someplace. And then someplace where you were doing what I would call considered filming, where you were going out with drones in your automobile or whatever, you'd take the Mavic 3.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I went on a little summer tour, just a short tour. It was only a weekend where I did, somebody mentioned the Harry Potter Railway. That it was the Harry Potter Railway, and apparently Jackie, Loch Shiel was also apparently in the Harry Potter films. It was the Black. I haven't seen any movies. The Black Lake or something like that. The Black.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah, that was Loch Shiel.
Yeah.
Well, when I did that tour, that you're right. That could have been the time when a Mavic 3 in the car would have been a thing to take with you. Then you can decide you've got a selection of drones to use at each location. So yeah, I could see that. So if anyone wants to sponsor a Mavic 3 my way,
no, not at all.
No. Robert, as your channel grows, trust me on this. There will be companies that will get a hold of you.
Yeah,
and they'll want to send you drones. Trust me.
Well,
it won't be Mavic 3 though.
Not the Mavic 3. No.
If all the plastic crap looks Marcus gets.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been getting little bits and pieces sent through from companies. They'll send me wee things now and again. Yeah, but I mean, a Mavic 3. If a company wants to send me that.
Yeah.
So DJI, if you're watching right now, because you're probably not, but even if you watch it on catch up, which you probably won't. But just in case you do, Robert will post his address down below. Can you get in contact with him? Send him just the basic Mini 3, please.
Mavic 3.
Steve and I have plugged the DJI FPV for the last 6 months. Solid.
Yeah.
Every opportunity we get, it comes in.
Yeah.
And all I've got was a demand from the tax man.
Oh, well, that's one more thing, DJI. We have sold lots and lots of FPV drones for you. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
loads.
I went up to see Brian. He bought one.
You've been twisting the hell out of my arm, I can tell you that.
Exactly.
I mean, it's relentless. Every show, it's relentless. When are you going to fly the FPV drone, Marcus? When are you going to buy an FPV drone?
And the trouble is,
when are you going to fly it?
I say the problem is, Terry, we can't ask Robert because he's already got one. He beat us to it.
Yeah.
Do we put a claim in for that one as well, then, or not?
We could claim it, I think, yes.
So it was all our fault. Who's gifted it? Who gifted it? Oh, yeah. Oh, you go. I don't know. So any of you haven't got FPV drones, hurry up. We're trying to
Let's
monetize.
we can start our own club.
If
Don't sing us into our
Steve
show,
Kevin
do it.
outnumbered
See
here,
what
aren't
Brian
we?
said? Look, Steve twisted my arm too.
Well done, Brian.
The thing is, you don't. I personally think all I said to Brian was, "There, Brian, it's a drone. Just fly it," and he flew it, and that was it. Hooked.
That's the way
Done.
to do it.
How we get on for time? Okay, right. We've got another video show. Now this one is edited. Unfortunately, I had to edit this one because it's quite a lengthy drone. Sorry, a lengthy video. It's a comparison between the FPV and Mini 2. But well, so I'm so involved. It is edited. I had to edit it because we are limited to space and whatever. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you anymore. But anyway, I think we've captured most of it. So enjoy.
Hello there. So, after I got my booster jag, I had a few side effects. 24 hours in bed sorted that out. I took another day of rest just to be on the safe side. But now, on the third day, windswept I rose and came out. So can I just say thanks very much to everyone who sent me some fantastic posts and comments and messages wishing me well. I really appreciate that. So I'm headed down to a nice spot that I can fly, and my intention today is to do a cinematic comparison between the £400 DJI Mini 2 and the £1,300 DJI FPV. I'm going to get Lassie and Laddie out now, and I'm going to send them over there, probably fly over the walled garden, along the river, over the Chinese bridge, and then up around Dumfries House. Lassie will do a beautiful parallax around there. Laddie won't be able to do a parallax, and then bring them back. So let's get them up in the air. There we go, the best comparison that I can currently do with the DJI FPV and the DJI Mini 2. So I hope you liked this. If you did, give us a thumbs up. I'm out of here.
Hello.
That was a thumbs up. That was good.
Nice one.
So about
Wow.
the rush editing there, Rob. I didn't really to trash your video too much. I hope I didn't. But so, what's the whole
The
thing?
difference
Go to
was
the chat.
amazing, wasn't it? In the picture quality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my thinking behind that one was when I first introduced Laddie to my channel, I got a little bit of a backlash. And people were saying, "Oh, you've gone FPV now. Oh, that's the end of your channel." And I thought, why do you think this? And people were saying, "Well, because it does this and it does that, and it's like this." So my idea was, well, I thought, no, I'm gonna show that you can get pretty good cinematic footage out of the FPV drone. It's not just about doing loops and holes. So that was the whole purpose behind that one, was to show that it may not be as easy to get cinematic footage as you can with a GPS drone. But don't forget, when I took that footage, that was only my third flight with the FPV drone.
Exactly.
So anyone who's had a lot of flight experience with it will be able to get some really good cinematic footage.
Well, I've done exactly that, Robert. I tend now to fly very low and in between things. Yes, I'm in normal. However, I've got some really good stuff, climbing rocks, around the top, down the bottom, loads and loads of stuff, but very low. Stuff which you wouldn't normally get, and you've got the dust coming up, and it's just that effect.
Yeah.
And then coupled with other stuff that I've got, it's turned out very well.
I think I like just like getting the angles on it when you can actually turn and turn instead of obviously with a GPS drone it will actually keep straight and just get that angle on it. It just that alone to me makes it a unique.
I think once you sort of got more experience flying it and you're banking left, right, or whatever, and if you do it slowly, you can get a fabulous effect.
Oh yeah,
Tanya's not convinced.
You what?
Tanya's not convinced.
Well, has Tanya flown one? Yeah, have you flown one though, Tanya?
I'll let Tanya fly this one of these days.
Yeah, let her fly it and see.
And Tanya, once you've flown that, you'll be thinking, I've got to get one because it's just.
But it's not the be all and end all of drone flying. To me, it's something which I thoroughly enjoy. I've got some good results out of it, and I'll go back to. I did have the Zoom, but I've sold the Zoom and bought a Mini for a specific purpose. But the FPV, I love it. I enjoy it, but it's not the be all and end all.
Because it's getting in on the conversation. He says he's ancient, but he's still awesome.
You know what, Jackie, and I so love that about your channel. All kidding aside, Jackie.
And he says this to FPVs.
Jackie, what happened when I gave you my FPV to fly? Take it back. I said, why? What's the matter? Didn't you like it? No, she said, I want it. I want it. She said, I want it. I said, would you like another flight? No, I want it.
Come on, Platypus his ears up. Platypus be going, I'm not playing with you no more. I'm going to go wrong next time you fly me.
Yeah, I'm going to Tunisia.
Yeah.
Let me make one really important point here is that Jackie proves to all of us that you don't need the latest drone to make fabulous content. Her content, you look at her channel that she makes with that, probably 5-year-old drone at this point, and it's amazing.
It is.
Because I'll tell you for why, because that drone, that was a step up from the Mavic Pro.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I still say to this day, the Mavic Pro, had I have not had something else to replace it with, I would have never got rid of it. Because it was a brilliant drone. It was my first drone I ever took to Spain, and I loved flying it, and I still would love flying it now if I still had it.
What did you replace it with, Steve?
I sold that because I had them. No, I bought the Mini 2.
Oh,
I wanted something smaller. So yeah, smaller to take to Spain with me. So next time I go to Spain, I took the FPV drone, the Mini 2, the Mavic 2 Pro. Yeah,
and then you took home a Zoom, a Mini, an FPV. You filled your suitcase up.
I've got nothing to wear. I've got me drones in my case.
And I've still got all of your clothes in our wardrobe.
I hiked up a hill the other day on a 4-hour hike.
Never.
It was so windy.
Never.
It was so
You
windy.
don't hike up hills.
It was so windy when I got to the top that he only flew for 60 seconds and I brought it down.
Oh, really?
I still carried it all that way, though.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, Brian wants to know, Robert, have you got the motion controller?
Yeah, I do have the motion controller, and I love it. In fact, my dad is 82, and he's always had an interest in coming out with me one day. But he doesn't like the idea of the controller. He's worried about it. But I'm going to take him out and give him the motion controller and let him fly it, because it's very, very easy to fly the motion controller.
Oh, that'd be a good video. Hope you're going to video it.
I find it better to use than the controller, personally.
The only downside to the motion controller I found is that you can't come back. You can't go backward. And so the controller still for me is, if you want to go backwards, that's it. But for some nice, lovely flying and easy banks,
it's very easy to smoothly bank. Terry was saying earlier about banking round, but if you've got the motion controller, it's very, very easy to bank slowly because you're just moving. Anyway, it's cool. What we're doing for time, right? Okay, we've come up to that time. We're not going anywhere. So stay there, Robert. Don't go.
I mustn't forget the script.
Right? Are we ready? Yeah, of course we're ready.
I'm ready.
And now it's time for Terry's Joke of the Week.
Over to you, Terry.
Right. I got to say thanks to Kev for this. He sent me this afternoon. I thought, oh, that's good. Anyway, 35 years of marriage. Husband and wife came to see a therapist. All very quiet and very subdued, and the husband's got a little bit downcast. And when the therapist asked what the problem was, the wife went into a tirade listing every problem they'd ever had over the years that they had been married. On and on and on. Neglect, lack of intimacy, emptiness, loneliness, feeling unloved and unlovable, an entire laundry list of unmet needs she had endured. Husband sat there, sinking further and further into his chair, thinking, nah, that's not me. Nah, can't be. Nah. Finally, after allowing this to go on for a sufficient length of time, the therapist stood up and he walked around the desk. And after asking the wife to stand up, he embraced and kissed her long and passionately as her husband watched. With a raised eyebrow, I might add. The woman shut up, quietly sat down as though in a daze. The therapist turned to the husband and said, "This is what your wife needs at least 3 times a week. Can you do this?" "Well," he said, "I can drop her off here on Mondays and Wednesdays, but Fridays I go fishing."
Terry's Joke of the Week.
There you go, Gary.
Thank you, Kevin.
You could have changed that last bit to droning.
As I said it, I should have said droning, and I thought, I should have changed the script.
So what do you rate that one, Gary? Do you like... Oh dear. Well, Gary, you know what the challenge is? We've thrown the gauntlet down, come on the show and tell a joke.
Oh, come on, Gary. You liked it.
He liked it. Look, he's got 5 cracking up faces.
Caroline said, I heard a rather rude version.
Yeah, but I did try a semi-rude joke, Caroline, about 18 months ago. and I got lambasted for it by one person. And I thought, oh, I ain't going to have that again. Jackie.
Hey, I want to bring something up in the chat. We all need to think some positive thoughts for our friend Drone Views Media. He's in the hospital with COVID right now, so just want him to know we're all thinking about
get
it.
well soon.
Oh, indeed. Get well very, very soon.
Yeah, please, honestly, over Christmas, I think most of the people I know, you know what they got for Christmas? COVID.
Ugh.
Honestly, it's terrible. You know, it's at the
It's
moment.
everywhere, isn't it now?
But on the good side of things, unlike our friend there, most of it's been sort of, nothing more than
what, like cold,
12-hour flu symptoms scenario, and so just look after yourself, people, because at the end of the day, it's not going to go away quickly. I think it's something we're going to have to live with for a long while. So just hope and pray that people just look after themselves, really, because it's all over the place. I mean, it's the same in America, Marcus.
Oh, it's insane. It's sweeping across the nation. My wife and I are all vaxxed up and boosted up and all that, but we don't go out of the house now without a mask on.
No,
don't do it.
Well, I think in Spain now, am I right in saying it's actually law now? You walk down the streets with masks. You have to wear a mask when you walk out your door.
It's law if you're not with someone from your own house and you can't maintain the 1.5 meter distance.
So you can take it off if you can keep the distance. Is that right?
Yeah, as long as you're not in a town or shopping centre or somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we brought.
If you're out in the countryside, you can take it off.
We brought a law out, and I think some sort of law about going to shops and whatever wearing masks. But I don't think a lot of people understand what quite that means. But that's their problem. Because it protects others, and it does protect yourself, but to a degree. So anyway, we'll worry about that. Just
one visionarial there is asking some pretty relevant questions, really, about visiting Scotland with his drone from the States.
All right, that one there. Bring a drone into Scotland from the US. What steps do you need to take to be able to fly? Well, in Scotland are quite easy. I mean, Robert and Brian might be able to answer that question. But are any restrictions that you know of, Robert? That
only the CAA restrictions, the same that we all have to abide by in the UK, which is you're limited to visual line of sight, you're limited to 400 feet maximum altitude, well above the highest point of ground.
Take off,
and that's pretty much that's for a sub 250. If you are above 250, you have to take your A2 CFC if you want to fly within those limits. If you don't have your A2 CFC, you get a heavier drone, you still fly it. You just have to fly it in the next category up.
You can
50 meters away from.
I mean, the other option as well, Rob. I'm not sure if you're aware, but someone a visitor wouldn't do it anyway. But I mean, obviously, I'm trying to work this out. So if someone comes over from visiting the UK, obviously they're not registered with the CAA, are they? Because they're not going to.
No, I did speak to the CAA about that and said, as a tourist coming from Spain, what would my obligations be to fly legally in UK? And they said exactly as Robert said, you've got to take the exams.
Oh, you have still got to do it?
Yeah, likewise, if you come into Spain, you have to have the European equivalent.
And you register it here, don't you?
So if I come to Spain, are you guys going to tell on me?
No. It's going to cost you, though.
As I said, when I come over to Spain and fly my drone, I would argue that I'll just plead some amendment saying, look, listen, I've got all this in the UK, I've got this, I've got that, allow me to fly in Spain, please. And if they won't let me, well, unlucky.
Hey, I'm an American. I would just flash. See that United States of America at the top.
I can do whatever I like.
Just tell him you took it off in America and it flew over the sea.
Yeah.
And you come to get it back. The drone has gone all the way to Spain, and I've got to go. I'm just getting it back.
Yeah. And as they slam the cell door, you say, "Mind your fingers."
I'll bet you, Terry, that is an old Bobby joke.
Well, it is actually, and you used to say, you know, you can't do this to me, munch fingers, or you'll be an army one, which you'll be seeing striped sunlight for the rest of your life. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the time, obviously, when we're over in Spain and when we go to sort of fly some very sort of remote places, we're not exactly flying in town centres, are we? So
No, exactly.
No,
world record flyaway.
If you've got a thingy showing that you've had training, it should be recognised in every other country.
I think it should be, Jackie. I do. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, it's just a different country. You know, I mean, it's like driving a car. I can come over to Spain, jump in a car, and drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
Well,
on the right side of the road, Steve. But
no, the wrong side of the road. Bloody getting on bloody. I mean, it's bad enough I go and get in the car and think of getting the passenger side and think of who's driving this car?
Yeah.
Anyone driving this car? Oh no, it's me.
Oh, is that why you try to sit on my lap?
It is, Terry. It is.
It's when you go to change gear though, and you bang your elbow against the door.
Yeah, you keep whacking the door, don't you?
That is the one thing that I do find. I mean, it depends on the car that the driving using, because that's the one thing you don't. You know, using your right hand to change gear. You just don't do it, do you? I practice in the UK before. And when I drive down to the airport, I'll lean over and change gear with the other hand.
Oh.
That sounds safe, doesn't it?
and see, I would have exactly the opposite problem. I can't imagine trying to shift a gear with my left hand. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I mean the thing is with these hire cars, if you actually want automatic cars, they charge you a fortune for it, so you can't even get out of it that way. Although I've got my cycle proficiently got. Can I ride a bike?
No, Gary, you can't ride a bike anyway.
We drive on the right side of the road.
I failed my cycling proficiency.
Yes, you do drive on the right side of the road. That's right. You drive on the right side of the road, on the right side of the road.
But we drive on the correct side of the road.
But we invented driving, so.
So the word that we're trying to think of with these licenses is called reciprocity. In other words, yeah, you know, this for that. So
they should be recognized, shouldn't they?
It certainly should, right? I mean, if you have gone through everything you've gone through in Europe, you should be able to come to the United States and they know that you can safely fly a drone. You've been through all that, and you should be okay to fly it, and vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa.
I mean, considering it is actually flying a drone, for goodness sake, as we said before, it's not exactly you're in the air. No, so it's not like you're going to. It's a lot of red tape, isn't it, really? But
and I will say this: it would be up to me to understand. Say, if I was flying in Spain, that there's a height limit of that may be something different than the United States. I would say that it would be on me to understand all that, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to take the sidewinders off of your 3. You couldn't have sidewinders.
Sideblinders.
What sidewinders?
That was an infrared guided missile.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway,
Marcus.
I think on that
Gary just had a good comeback. You must note that one.
Oh, what was that?
Sorry, Kim had a good comeback to Gary.
Ride whoever you like.
You can ride who you like. Missus.
As Brian says, it's great to see a fellow Scotsman on the show, and Robert, thanks ever so much for joining us, because obviously
absolutely brilliant.
Check
love your channel, Robert.
Yeah,
keep on going. Keep doing videos.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be on the show. So thanks very much for inviting me along. I've really enjoyed the past hour.
Pleasure. Pleasure. We like to have interesting guests, and we're trying to make it more and more interesting for us, and of course for the people who sort of join us in the chat, because obviously that's what it makes it all about. So anyway, until next week, folks, it's time to go home again. Well, not really go anywhere.
No, I'm going to go and watch David Attenborough now.
He's going to watch David Attenborough. So,
catch up.
So for myself,
I did that wrong, didn't I, Terry?
Sorry, Tom. Oh, yeah, man.
Take care.